It was December 17th, 2010, a freezing Friday evening in Bristol, England. Joanna Yeates, a cheerful 25-year-old landscape architect, was on her way home. Christmas was just around the corner. Festivities were underway, laughter filled the air, and Joanna, with her infectious smile, made a quick stop to buy herself a pizza. A simple, everyday decision, one we've all made hundreds of times. But what happened next would transform that ordinary evening into one of Britain's most haunting mysteries. 2 days later, Joanna had vanished without a trace. Her apartment untouched, her belongings undisturbed, except for one bizarre detail: the pizza was gone. A missing pizza might sound trivial, but soon it became the strangest clue in a case that shocked an entire nation. Because behind this missing pizza lay something far darker than anyone imagined. Joanna Yeates wasn't someone you'd easily forget. Friends described her as lively, ambitious, and exceptionally talented. She was the kind of person who could brighten anyone's day, a passionate landscape architect with dreams, friends, and a future filled with promise. Originally from Hampshire, Joanna had moved to Bristol to build her career, settling into a peaceful life with her boyfriend, Greg Reardon. Their apartment, located in a quiet neighbourhood, seemed like the safest place in the world, a haven from any possible harm. But on December 17th, 2010, everything felt completely normal. Joanna attended festive drinks with her colleagues, laughing, joking, celebrating the holiday season. CCTV footage shows her afterwards, smiling casually, buying cider at a local supermarket before grabbing a pizza at a nearby takeaway, a typical Friday night. Nobody could have predicted that these everyday actions caught so innocently on camera would become Joanna's final recorded moments. Because what happened next would leave detectives, family, and an entire city desperate for answers. Greg Reardon returned home late on Sunday, December 19th, expecting to find Joanna eagerly preparing for the holidays. But when he opened the door, something felt off. Joanna was nowhere to be found. Her keys, wallet, coat, even her phone were exactly where she'd normally leave them. The apartment appeared untouched, peaceful almost, as if she'd just stepped out for a brief moment. But Greg noticed something strange, something seemingly insignificant that would soon become crucial. The pizza Joanna had bought was nowhere in sight. Initially confused, Greg's confusion quickly turned to anxiety. Joanna was not the type to vanish without a word, especially leaving behind everything she owned. Hours turned into panic. The police were called, an investigation launched. Friends and family frantically searched the streets of Bristol, clinging to hope, wondering if perhaps Joanna had simply wandered off, disoriented. But what they didn't know yet was that the missing pizza box was only the beginning. Something far darker and more sinister was waiting to be uncovered. Days passed without any sign of Joanna, and the once peaceful city of Bristol became gripped by fear and speculation. The media descended on the quiet neighbourhood, turning Joanna's disappearance into front-page headlines overnight. Then suspicion fell on Christopher Jefferies, Joanna's landlord, an eccentric man whose unusual demeanour quickly drew intense media scrutiny. Reporters relentlessly portrayed him as odd, even dangerous. Within hours, the landlord who once blended into the background had become the prime suspect. Jefferies was arrested, interrogated relentlessly, and subjected to intense public scrutiny. Everyone seemed convinced surely this peculiar man held the key to Joanna's mysterious disappearance. But what happened next turned the entire case upside down. Because Christopher Jefferies wasn't the man the police were looking for, and the real monster was still hidden, waiting quietly in the shadows, closer than anyone imagined. Christmas morning, 2010. While families across Britain opened presents and celebrated, police received a call that would change the investigation completely. On a lonely roadside, covered lightly by a fresh dusting of snow, lay a body. The discovery sent a shiver through the city of Bristol. It was Joanna. Joanna Yeates had been found just a few miles from her home, her vibrant life tragically cut short. The autopsy revealed the chilling truth. She had been strangled. This revelation sparked renewed panic in the community. Suddenly, everyone began questioning their neighbours, their friends, even those they trusted most. Because if Christopher Jeffries was innocent, who then was responsible for this horrifying act? Investigators had hit a wall. But what they uncovered next would lead them directly to someone nobody suspected, a quiet, friendly face hiding a terrifying secret in plain sight. Weeks after Joanna's body was found, detectives were still searching desperately for answers, but suddenly everything shifted. Forensic tests came back from the lab, finally offering a crucial breakthrough. DNA evidence had been recovered from Joanna's clothing, DNA belonging not to her landlord, but to another neighbour entirely. Vincent Tabak, a quiet, polite engineer who lived directly next door to Joanna. Tabak had seemed genuinely concerned about Joanna's disappearance, even joining the search efforts. But behind his calm, helpful facade lurked something sinister. Police quickly arrested Tabak. Under intense questioning, he broke down and confessed to the chilling truth. On the evening of December 17th, he'd knocked on Joanna's door, under a casual pretense. When Joanna rejected his advances, things escalated tragically. In panic, after killing Joanna, Tabak stole the pizza she bought, terrified his fingerprints or DNA might be left on the box. It was this seemingly trivial detail, the missing pizza, that ultimately unraveled his carefully hidden crime. The friendly neighbour next door had become Bristol's most feared monster. But even with Tabak behind bars, no one could shake the haunting question, how well do we really know the people living right next to us? October 2011. Nearly a year after Joanna's tragic disappearance, the nation watched intently as Vincent Tabak stood trial for murder. Prosecutors methodically unravelled his carefully constructed facade, exposing chilling details of Tabak's actions both before and after the crime. In court, jurors learned of Tabak's cold, calculated moves, disturbing internet searches about police investigations, attempts to destroy evidence, and manipulative efforts to mislead investigators, all while appearing calm, even supportive, in public. The overwhelming evidence left no room for doubt. After weeks of testimony, the jury reached their verdict, guilty of murder. Tabak received a life sentence, finally bringing justice for Joanna's devastated family and friends. But despite justice being served, the pain lingered deeply. Joanna was gone, a bright future extinguished by senseless violence. Yet, amidst their heartbreak, Joanna's family courageously reminded everyone of the human cost of such brutality, a life cut short, dreams left unfulfilled, and a loss that no courtroom could ever truly mend. But even with justice delivered, one chilling question still lingered in everyone's minds. Could this tragedy have been prevented, or was it simply an unthinkable reminder of the darkness hidden just beyond our sight? The murder of Joanna Yeates remains etched in the memory of an entire nation, a haunting reminder that danger doesn't always wear a frightening mask. Sometimes it appears friendly, familiar, even kind. Joanna's story forces us all to confront an uncomfortable truth: how easily the line between safety and danger can blur. Her ordinary decision, grabbing dinner on a chilly December evening, turned into a heartbreaking lesson about the fragility of life. So the next time you're making that seemingly insignificant choice, pause for just a moment. Reflect on Joanna's legacy, a reminder to cherish every day, appreciate those around you, and remember that behind every ordinary moment lies the profound unpredictability of life.